Imagine hiking through one of the coldest places on Earth. The wind howls across endless snow-covered mountains. The temperature drops below minus 30 degrees Celsius. You're surrounded by some of your closest friends. You set up camp for the night. You eat dinner. You laugh. You write in your journal. Everything seems normal. But before sunrise, something terrifies all 9 hikers so completely that they slash their own tent open from the inside and flee into the freezing darkness, barefoot, without coats, without supplies. Weeks later, rescuers would discover their frozen bodies scattered across the mountainside. Some had died from hypothermia. Others suffered injuries so severe they resembled victims of a high-speed car crash. One hiker was missing her tongue. Another had crushed ribs. There were no signs of another person. No clear explanation. Only questions. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident, one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. In January of 1959, 9 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on an ambitious expedition across the northern Ural Mountains in the former Soviet Union. The group was led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was to earn the highest hiking certification by completing one of the most difficult winter routes in the country. Every member was skilled. They understood survival. They knew how to navigate extreme weather. Before leaving, they kept detailed journals and photographed nearly every stage of their journey. Those photographs would later become some of the final images ever taken of the group. On February 1st, the hikers reached the eastern slope of a mountain known to the local Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl. Its name translates to Dead Mountain. As daylight faded, the group decided to camp directly on the exposed slope instead of descending into the nearby forest. They pitched their tent, prepared for the night, and settled in. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. When the hikers failed to return on schedule, rescue teams were sent into the mountains. Days later, they found the tent. It was partially buried in snow. The strangest detail? The tent had been cut open from the inside, not the outside, as if the hikers had been desperate to escape immediately. Footprints led away from the campsite. Some belonged to people wearing boots. Others were barefoot or wearing only socks. The trail disappeared into the frozen wilderness. The first 2 bodies were discovered beneath a large cedar tree nearly 2 kilometers away. They wore almost no clothing. Nearby were the remains of a small campfire. It appeared they had desperately tried to stay warm. 3 more hikers were found between the cedar tree and the abandoned tent. It looked as though they had been trying to return. They never made it. Months later, after the snow melted, the remaining 4 bodies were finally discovered inside a nearby ravine. Their injuries stunned investigators. Several had massive skull fractures. Others had broken ribs with extraordinary force. One woman, Lyudmila Dubinina, was missing her tongue. Yet, there were almost no external wounds. It was as though an immense force had crushed them, without breaking the skin. The official Soviet investigation concluded that the hikers died because of an unknown compelling force. No further explanation was given. The case was quietly closed. But the mystery was only beginning. Over the decades, dozens of theories emerged. Some believed the hikers were attacked by escaped prisoners. But there were no signs of another group, no extra footprints, no evidence of violence around the campsite. Others suspected the local Mansi people. Yet investigators found no reason to believe they were involved. In fact, the Mansi actively assisted in the search. Some claimed a military experiment had gone terribly wrong. Witnesses reported strange orange lights in the night sky around the same time. Later, traces of low-level radiation were detected on some clothing. Did the hikers stumble upon a secret weapons test? To this day, no evidence has confirmed that theory. Then came a more scientific explanation. Researchers suggested that a rare type of avalanche may have forced the hikers to flee. Even a small slab of snow could have made them believe their camp was no longer safe. In complete darkness, they may have chosen to move downhill temporarily, planning to return once the danger had passed. Instead,
The freezing temperatures quickly overwhelmed them. Those who survived longest attempted to rescue
the others. Some climbed trees, some built fires, some searched for shelter inside the ravine. The severe chest injuries could have been caused by falling into the snow-covered ravine and being crushed beneath heavy snow. In 2021, computer simulations supported this possibility. But not everyone is convinced. The unusual injuries, the missing tongue, the reports of strange lights still leave many unanswered questions. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass Incident continues to fascinate investigators, scientists, and storytellers around the world. Thousands of pages of reports have been studied. New technologies have analyzed the evidence. Countless documentaries have proposed answers. Yet one question remains. What frightened 9 experienced hikers so badly that they abandoned the safety of their tent and ran into one of the harshest environments on Earth? Perhaps it was a natural disaster. Perhaps it was a tragic series of impossible decisions. Or perhaps the mountain still holds a secret hidden beneath the snow. 9 hikers, 1 freezing night, and a mystery that history has never fully explained. So, what do you think happened on Dead Mountain? Share your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring history's greatest unsolved mysteries, subscribe for more stories where the truth is often stranger than fiction.